Hey guys, here with another video, the follow-up video on the wish.com Benchmade fakeout bug out clone. This is my buddy
Cliff. Hello interwebs.
We introduced him a little bit without seeing him in the previous video, talking about this knife and what we're going to do tonight. So first off, like I said, this is a follow-up video. We got two fake outs here, and we also loaned to me by our local Snap-on dealer, Corey Anger. He let me borrow the real deal. We're going to do some video and photo of these knives all matched up, and then we're going to see which ones we like. So I'm going to say this: in this video there are two fake knives and one real knife. That's three, and one of these knives is the best one. So right after this.
This feels really tight. I really like it. Drop the heat. I kind of felt what you're saying for some reason. But I like it.
You just got one of these knives.
Yep, I did.
Here's your little weed bag for all you potheads, because I know you guys aren't
Look, it's another weed bag.
collecting seashells. Okay, now this one's yours. I want you to start off on this one, what you think about it.
Okay. What I think about this one. Been carrying this for a week and change since Levi got this in. We discussed it. He let me carry it for a little bit. I have not sharpened this. I have not oiled this. I have done nothing but use this. And I cannot find a reason to really say anything negative about this. Biggest plus point for me is over the plastic scales that you get with the real Benchmade and the other clone. These have aluminum handles, and it's maybe another ounce of weight, but it's still light as hell. And feels more rigid, feels more sturdy. Got a good tight clip, but not too tight. It's not going to rip your jean pants off. Is it as smooth as the Axis lock on the actual Benchmade? No. And if that's a deal breaker for 20 bucks for you, you need to reevaluate your life. It's a damn good knife, and it's brought blood from both of our hands.
Yes.
Sharp as hell out of the box. Again, haven't sharpened it up,
Have
touched
not
it
sharpened this knife yet.
Not at all. Used it last weekend to break down a bunch of cardboard, open a bunch of moving boxes for the in-laws. I cannot find a reason, and I hate using this term, at this price point, because, you know, everybody's got their price point. My thing with knives is I'm not going to spend $100 on a Benchmade Plus. It's not going to happen. My wife's behind the camera, and she'll attest to that. But what I do look for is features that you're getting at a price point way below what you'd expect to pay. And this is what you get all day long. I mean, would I recommend trying to shut this with the Axis with one hand? No. That's what led to me getting bit. But that being said, it's a light, everyday carry that's got a small profile in your pocket. I cannot find anything to hate on this knife. I mean, plain and simple. It's a damn fine constructed piece of equipment, and for the gift.com price plus shipping of 20 and change, I've paid 50 bucks for knives that did not measure up to this. And I think that's where we're all coming from. You see me, I'm not a tactical dude. I didn't serve. I'm just an average everyday guy who appreciates quality at a good price point, and that's what you get here, plain and simple.
And that's what one thing I want to touch base on is we're not trying to say that this is as good as a Benchmade. He made a point that the Axis lock is not as smooth on these, or the flicking of the knife open is not as smooth as the actual Benchmade.
Yeah, there is a discernible difference.
There is, and I have to say that as far as using this knife and flicking it open, I mean, it does not feel as good as a real Benchmade. The quality, I have to say, because of the material that I like, it's probably subpar to Benchmade. I have not tested these blades for their steel content, the mineral content of the steel.
But
go ahead.
But that being said, I have no reason to believe that steel is not what they're advertising. I mean,
it definitely performs like an SV30. Now,
yep.
I've had some SV30 blades. They look decent. They look like this blade, but some steels are very similar in look. Now let's talk about workability or performance. All right, SV30 is a steel that it's a little harder to sharpen, but it's got a very tough edge. It has a very...
It's going to retain it for a while.
Exactly,
yep.
It's going to retain it, and it's a very strong steel. And it's very, once you do sharpen it, we're talking about razor sharp. I mean,
sure.
Out the box, this was shave sharp.
Oh, yeah.
And
cut sharp.
Now, I did cut myself on it, but the thing is, when I cut myself with this knife, before I handed it over to Cliff, I didn't feel it. I didn't even know it got cut.
Yeah.
I just saw blood. Now, he told me about something, and you nearly lost your life. You want to expound on that a little bit?
I built a knife with a friend of mine a while back. Self-Reliance Outfitters, great website. Dave Canterbury, God knows what he's doing. They've got some blank kits and knife kits out there that, for the price point they're hitting, these are heirloom quality pieces. And I expect to hand this down to my nephew at some point. And that being said, I got a little careless out of the box of the first one. Was testing the blank, checking it out, playing around with it, and put a good 1.5-inch gash into the palm of my right hand. And much like the fakeout here, it was so sharp that, it's one of those cuts that doesn't bleed at first. Takes a minute. It's like you feel you got bit, and then it's like, oh shit, I got bit. So, similar situation. Little tiny cut on the end there, and that was simply from trying to flick it open with the axis. With the fake out axis lock, opening is much smoother than closing. The weight just seems a hair off, maybe the tension on the spring just a hair off. But again, for the money you're paying, it's negligible. I mean, if you want a Benchmade, go buy a Benchmade.
It's a good knife.
If you want a damn good knife for the price, buy this.
Right.
I mean, I can't really put it any better.
I agree. I mean, we're not talking about this knife like it's so close to Benchmade. I feel like
no, we're not on the payroll here.
Yeah, we're not. And the guys at Benchmade, these are made by hardworking Americans that are craftsmen. They designed this knife. They designed everything about it. The blade profile, the grivery, the grivery scales.
Yeah.
But for me, I like aluminum scales. And now I'm gonna find the link. There is a guy that makes aluminum scales for his Benchmade real bug out, and he made some amazing scales. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna ask him if we can put them out there, because 3 of you people that are watching this might want to actually do it. But anyway, I'm gonna buy me another aluminum scaled fake out, because I really enjoyed the knife one night before I gave it to Cliff. And
he's not getting it back. It was my birthday.
Yeah, it was his birthday. He kind of guilted me into giving it to him. First he said he's going to buy it, and then he's like, well, it is my birthday. And I'm like, you know what? It was under $25.
Yeah, he got off cheap.
Yeah, I did good.
That was about as expensive as the bag of pistachios I gave you for Christmas.
Yeah, just about, because pistachios. But anyway, what I'm liking about this knife now that's been used and has been handed around and it's been cut, he has not sharpened it yet. We've already said that. But I'm liking the holster wear it's getting. I kind of like that. I think that looks cool. I'm starting to miss it again, so I'm definitely going to order me another one, probably a handful of them, because I have nephews that need to be cut a few times. So that's going to happen.
Yeah, if you're looking for an inexpensive gift for somebody who appreciates a quality product, I mean, you can't go wrong.
And I'm going to show this a little bit more. I'm going to do a little separate video or picture photo. Obviously, that's not the Benchmade foam. I like this better because I do like boxes. I'm weird. I like collecting things. I like to have little things. This is not a Benchmade box, but it looks like the Benchmade box.
Don't get him started on cigar boxes.
Okay? But I like to keep little things so I can keep little things in. And this foam, the way it cut out for that knife, I think it looks really sharp. especially as a gift.
Yeah, the presentation, I mean...
If it didn't say Benchmade on, I wouldn't care. I'd still buy it. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, the presentation out of the box on all of them, pretty solid. And one thing worth mentioning, the real Benchmade versus the plastic handle clone, the milling on the interior of the scales looks to be exactly the same.
No difference.
I mean, no difference whatsoever. The scale pattern on the outside, the only thing that we've picked apart as far as the difference on these, it is a 2-screw clip. On the
aluminum scale.
Yeah, on the aluminum scale, it's milled out for 3 screws, which is completely unnecessary.
And threaded.
Yeah, and threaded. Because there really are only 2 screws that attach. That's, other than the mixing of the coloration on the barrel spacers, the thumb stud, it might be blue, might be black. The shape configuration, one other thing, the clip on the actual Benchmade is maybe 1/8 of an inch longer. Who cares? You know,
right.
These are the separating points between 3 knives that range within $100 and change of each other.
We're talking, I think you can get a Benchmade online for about $1.40.
The bug out all day on Amazon is about $140.
You also use these points to, and I'm going to show these in separate little clips, okay? These points he's making about these knives and the differences are what's going to keep you from buying a fake. If you don't, look, you know, there's guys out there that are selling these, and if people that don't know, that just don't know, that don't do their homework,
right,
they're going to get had.
Right.
And that's what we also want to point out is we support Benchmade in the fact that they make a quality knife. Absolutely. Here in America, near my home state of Idaho, I think they're in Oregon, a bunch of, you know, natural, cage-free, you know, organic knife smiths over there are building these things, and that's totally cool.
Yep.
And that's what we want to support. So if you want to support them, make sure that your money's going to the source. Know these fine points that he pointed out, the 3 screws. I want to show some other things. The bevel grind on the blade is actually much higher. I will show that in some clips. Because yeah, we're all enjoying these knives and everything, but the fact is this is stolen intellectual property.
It is.
And they are ripping people off. There actually are people online selling these knives for Benchmade prices, and I have a problem with that. Now, if I'm doing this for educational purposes, which I am, and I'm enjoying these knives, and I'm going to get into this one here in a minute, but this is helping. These are good knives for the money.
Absolutely.
But they're not Benchmades.
They
don't come with a warranty.
Right.
They don't come with a free sharpening. They don't come with everything that you get with Benchmade when you purchase and put your hard-earned money that you worked for into what they worked on, their artwork. So,
well, and to that point, I have to feel at my core that Benchmade does hold themselves to a higher quality standard.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a bad batch of clones every once and again?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Is it worth rolling the dice?
Yeah.
That's your own personal choice.
That's the fun part.
But there are also those people, the name brand freaks, you know, I have to have a Benchmade. I'm not that guy. Again, I'm not going to pony up $130 for a folding knife that I'm going to leave.
Especially
on
with
a
his wife sitting
workbench.
behind the camera, he's not going to say
That's
anything
correct.
other
That's
than
correct.
that.
That's the thing. But
I'm sure she's got some habits.
at the end of the day, like I said to open this up, I can't find a reason to hate on this knife. It's a damn nice piece of gear.
I love the fact that I can lose it and I'm not going to cry.
Yeah, you know.
Or have that weird feeling in my stomach, like, oh, like
what's wrong?
You ever lose $100 bill or even a $50 bill?
Right. Case
$20 bill. That feeling you get when you lose a $50 bill or a $20 bill, which I've done, and I've been poor before.
Yeah.
There's some things in my life that's happened. Like when you lose $20, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're not eating for a week.
Yeah.
So losing and breaking a knife,
it's low risk and high reward.
But this right here, granted, I should have got stitches, but I didn't. Super glue is amazing.
Yeah. Or new skin.
Yeah, really no scar even. It was that clean of a cut.
Yeah.
So it's probably not SV30.
Might not be.
But
it's performing at the same level a lot of my D2 steel knives. And
I have to say,
that's kind of what I look for. Again,
another good steel, but lower end.
I want, quality aspects of the knife at a lower price point. Another one we're going to get into somewhere down the line here is recently got D2 steel carbon fiber blade, $35, and it's all legit. And that to me is a steal.
Yeah, that's a company I'm kind of excited about. It's an actual Chinese company that is advertising as a Chinese company. CRJB? CJRB.
We'll get back to that.
Maybe I'm dyslexic, but you know, we'll get into that. That's another video, another time. Now let's get into the plastic handle Benchmade. We still have time on the Grivery hangers.
Plastic.
Freaking Mongolians! Grivery handles. Okay, so these scales are the plastic ones on this clone. Some things I'm going to note real quick. Now, this clone is the one that's going to get you. This is the one that if you don't know, even with the aluminum scale one, if you don't know, you'll learn, but you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
This one is very close. Okay, so point number one I want to make. All right, this blade is, you can see the grind marks in the blade. I got it backwards on my previous video. I like the way it looks, but I see this more in this, the 8 chrome mauve MV steels, the higher end Chinese stainless, okay? These grind lines, okay, I'm gonna show this in a video. These grind lines go up a lot further. Okay, the butterfly, the Benchmate Butterfly. These are points you can use to keep yourself from buying the wrong knife. If that dude at that kiosk is selling a knife for 80 bucks, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, even if it's 120 bucks. Oh no, this is good knife. No, don't listen. Just pay attention. These grinds come all the way up. We're talking about maybe 3/16 of an inch from the spine. Whereas the real one, it's a little bit more. So if the butterfly, we're talking about halfway through the butterfly emblem, okay? Look for that. The blade doesn't look finished as good as the finish as this on the real one. On the real one, the good, nice finish is on the near the spine. The swedging is going to be a little bit different as well. Look for that. These are fine points that can save you from getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah, on the legit Benchmade, I believe it ran about a 1/4 inch longer on the spine.
I want to say it did, yeah. Another thing to note is your finger flicker knob. I don't know what to call it. I know the word, I just having that moment. But on the knob, now they look exactly the same.
Thumb stud.
Thumb stud, I like that. Yeah. It's beveled on the inside. It contours in. It is a convex, conical bevel into where the T, very small T Torx tool will fit in. That's also different than the fake out. It's a much more beveled finish. Now the color is the same. The color here is not even a half a shade difference in these scales. So
yeah, the plastic scales, it's really,
there's guys,
not much of a difference.
right, because there's guys on YouTube saying, oh, you could just barely see the difference. They're full of crap. One guy's on there, I think he felt bad that I think he did buy a fake one, and he's a Benchmade loving guy.
Yeah.
I watched this video. I'm not gonna say who he is, but he wears a dumb hat. But he's a nice guy, but he's talking about, oh, you can't tell the difference you can tell the difference in the scales. It's a little bit darker. Well, they're all a little bit different, and the boxes are all a little bit different too.
And for what it's worth, with the aluminum scales, it is a slightly noticeable lighter shade because it's a different substrate. It's not plastic.
Right.
It's
We're talking
aluminum.
about paint on aluminum.
Right, and we know a little bit about that.
And to be fair, my buddy who owns the real Benchmade here, okay, he couldn't tell the difference between the scales. He said, "Oh, it's a little heavier." Well, yeah, because these are metal. But that's the only thing he was like, if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. But back to this knife. The only real difference that's really going to tell and really give it away, unless they change it and then they really start effing people over, is right here. And I'm going to show this in a separate clip. It's probably going to pop up like right now as I'm talking. All right, there is a black barrel spacer on this knife. The actual, let me close that before I hurt myself. Thank you. I want you to tell them.
Well,
Actual barrel
varies.
spacer is a different color. I
Yeah,
haven't seen a difference.
This is the aluminum fake out. Black barrel spacer, blue barrel spacer, blue thumb stud.
Mm-hmm.
The other plastic.
This is it right here.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting them mixed up now.
Yeah. It's
That's
dark
plastic.
out here.
Yes, so we're working with that. Let's get all three side by side if we can here. The aluminum's got the darker thumb stud. The other two are kind of a crystal and blue.
Yeah.
Kind of consistent.
It's a nice little...
The aluminum has a black barrel spacer. The other two, again, crystal and blue. You know, if the color of your barrel spacers means more to you than the quality of the handle, honestly, I prefer aluminum. It's more substantial. It feels better in hand. It's more sturdy. But again,
it will keep you from buying the wrong knife for $120.
Absolutely. So beyond that, the jimping is pretty much the same on every one.
Yeah.
The
fit and
clips
finish is good too.
The fit and finish is fantastic.
Yeah.
The clips on both of the clones are the same. Like I said earlier, it appears the bug out's maybe about 1/8 of an inch, and the actual bug out is about 1/8 of an inch longer. We're not trying to take anything away from what Benchmade does.
Not at all.
Again, there are definite selling points to that. That's where you feel it in the axis lock.
Yeah. It's a little gritty on the
it's a little
Chinese.
gritty, but
I
again,
mean very little. It might just take a little bit of Houdini oil or some kind
exactly.
of
Well,
like, I use ram oil like
Yep.
gun cleaner. If you know how to clean guns, you better know how to clean your knife.
Yep.
That's a major point to me. Whenever I build somebody a holster, I clean their gun for them because some of these people don't take care of their guns. But I digress. Let me get back to this knife. Wait, which one is that? Okay, that's mine. That's yours. Yours is a hair long. That's the other thing. The aluminum scale one, it's a hair longer, but I'm going to say again because I have larger hands. I'm only 5'8" on a good day, but I have large hands. I love this knife way more. Now, what I meant earlier by we have 3 knives, 2 fake and 1 real, and 1 is our favorite. And let's just average the price across the board at $50 for all 3 of these knives. 50 for this one, 50 and 50.
Yeah, all things being equal.
All things
taking the
equal,
aluminum
I'm
handles.
taking this one.
Yep.
A guy named Wrangler Star on YouTube. You guys might follow him. He made a very good point. He's sitting there flexing it. I don't know, his hands are kind of dainty, but the dude made some good points. He's sitting there flexing, with his little, Garfunkel-ish style hands. He's all like, but dude made some good points. This is not flexible at all. This is a very good, and it is a double hand close. You can get cocky and you're going to end up flaying your
and you'll end up bleeding.
Like in the middle of the night, wake up, blood puddle in your bed like Cliff did. You could have died. Could have died it. But now, this is the real one? Yeah. These are a little smoother. You definitely get an SV30 blade. Now, there's another site I want to shout out to real quick. A guy named Love Them Knives. He did all the work of taking all these knives, even some clones.
Running the hardness test, running chemical tests.
Even titanium scales. He's testing to make sure they're really titanium. These are all things, this guy did a lot of leg work. He's got great videos. Go check him out. I'm going to put a link in his thing. Maybe you'll find these knives in there. I didn't watch them all yet, but he's got like 14 batches, and we're talking each batch is 9 knives.
Sure.
I mean, that's a lot. I don't know if he's paying for it. He's got a friend, but I mean, I want to do that, but
yeah, that's
I got to do
next
some homework.
level research. Yeah.
We're talking. He's finding out. These people are saying it's a 59 or 60 HRC Rockwell hardness, and he's finding out they're only 56.5.
Right.
So that's not false advertising. That just means they need to up their game. Like, whoa, we need to do a little bit better quality control. Yep. And that's not just Benchmade. Now, he's got a Benchmade clone on there that I was showing Cliff earlier that I thought was a beautiful knife. He had that thing rocking his actual D2 steel. It's a clone.
Yes.
And he said he loves that knife. Love Them Knives. He said he loves that knife. He doesn't want to stop carrying it. And a lot of people were commenting that they have the same clone and they love it better than the real Benchmade.
I can't remember the model number, but it had the sheep's foot. It had the two-tone black and blue handle.
It was that weird,
It was a sharp knife. I mean, appearance-wise.
Sharp. I'm not going to lie. Benchmade Knives was one of my favorite brands. Now, because of doing all this research, I'm finding out more about the company, the people behind it, the work they do, the designs they have, the workforce they have.
And does this drive me to maybe one day buy an actual Benchmade? Certainly.
It definitely did me. I think buying these knives and looking at the differences here, I'm going to get me a Benchmade. I'm going to sell all my shit, and I'm going to buy me a Benchmade knife, and I'm going to sell all my all these other clones that are working out really good so far. I'm going to buy me a real Microtech, Ultratech.
He won't shut up about that one.
My goal is to get a real one because I've held the real ones, and I'm in love with them. These clones are just fun. They're like gadgetry for, you know, the
it's
people
the fidget
spinners.
spinner of
it's
knives.
a fidget spinner of knives. If I'm going to fidget with something, it's going to be a knife.
Yeah,
So,
my approach is a little more simplistic. I like a utilitarian tool because
Yeah.
a knife at the end of the day is a tool.
yeah.
If you're buying it to be tactical, odds are you're not tactical.
Right.
You're going
It's
to bleed
true.
just like the rest of us.
I'm still probably going to try and stab somebody.
If you have a wife that's as
Needs an envelope open.
critical of my pocket knife problem
Running out of bourbon.
as mine is, running out of bourbon. Anyway, you know, it's all about bang for your buck. You know, it's everything in life. You want to feel like you're getting a deal at a good price point.
Thank you, Dave Decker.
You're welcome.
I should give me this Scott or this bourbon.
Well, thank you, Dave Decker. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either of the clones. If you want the known commodity and you're willing to pay for it, absolutely buy Benchmade.
Yeah.
If you're on a budget like most of us, you want a good product that you can feel good about, you know, not breaking the bank and
Yeah.
explaining to your wife where that money went.
Or upsetting your wife.
You can't really screw up.
But
with
let
any
me
of
make
these
this
clones.
point. Now,
Yeah.
let me make this point. Now, I agree with Cliff to a point. But just like I am with my tools, I've probably got $50,000 to $60,000 in tools just in my toolbox, including my toolbox right now. All of those tools are guaranteed for life.
Yep.
I'm good.
That's a big selling point.
That's a big selling point. A real Benchmade has a really good warranty,
Just send it back.
and I think they have also really good PR. I don't even know what that means. I just heard it. Public relations.
Pubic relations.
Pubic.
You can edit that out.
But no, I'm not going to edit that out.
Sweet.
I want people to know you said pubic.
Haha.
But you know, the thing is this: they make and they work really hard.
Yeah.
Nobody should be stealing from them. I'm enjoying myself making these videos and helping you guys buy cheaper knives that are decent. Let's pretend the Benchmade name's not on there. Who cares? These are
Right.
good. These are actually decent
They're
knives.
quality knives, yeah.
I spent $160 one time on a Vulcan by SOG. I love that knife. I'm pretty sure someone stole it from me. But
The point is you don't have it
the
anymore.
point is I don't have it anymore, and I know that blade, what that blade was, this blade on my plastic fake out is just as good, and I love this knife, and I carry it. I'm going to use it.
It's kind of the same approach I take
I'm
to
buying me another aluminum
Yep.
fake
At least
out.
one more.
Right. Do I want a plastic knife for $140? Maybe not, but guess what? Benchmade has an option. I believe I saw it on their site or on Blade HQ, maybe?
Either that or Knife Center, I believe.
Maybe Knife Center. They have copper scales.
Yep.
So if aluminum's not your thing,
I think that might
and you
have
want
been-
something that's a little bit better conductor of electricity, maybe
Something that's
copper's
more apt to kill you.
$75 more. If you're spending $140 on a knife, why not go all the way?
Again, everybody's got their priorities.
Right.
You know, all we're trying to do is give you unbiased, first take
Yeah.
information here.
Because we're knife guys. We're not
Yeah,
on anyone's.
we're-
We're not on Wish's payroll, and we're
No.
not on.
We're just two guys with a
Benchmade's.
knife problem who like to feel like we're getting a good deal. you know?
Might have an addiction.
Could be
so,
a thing. Yeah.
But and that's an addiction that started when I was a very young kid, because I'm an American red-blooded male who's mostly straight, and there's gonna be more videos, guys. I want to thank you for watching. Our thing here is to try and feel like we're hanging out because we want to hang out with our viewers, and I hope you guys are drinking some bourbon or something you like and hanging out watching this video with us and
Yeah.
fidgeting with your knives.
Go
and
play
just-
with your knives.
Go play with your stuff. If you've
Yeah.
got a fidget spinner, you can get one of these and just sit here all day and just do this.
That sound starts to get to you after a while, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a positive way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
thanks Cliff for being here
Absolutely.
tonight.
Thanks for having
I
me.
know it was
Levi. It was a lot of fun, and
I had a blast.
yeah, and more to come. But
We might not even covered everything. I just wanted to hang out and drink some bourbon with somebody.
at the end of the day, the point is these are all three good products here. But when you're ready to pull the trigger on $140, Benchmade's worth it.
Thank you guys for watching. We're going to end this right here before we, rant too much longer. Thanks for watching. We got more videos to come, more follow-up videos. Click, subscribe, and all that other stuff.
Cheers.
Cheers.